About the Pioneer cocktail, which is actually a version of...
Hi. Oh, we're having technical difficulties, but welcome to Tipsy Realtors Season 3. There's a lot of screaming just now, just, you know.
If you heard that, I don't think it was any swearing though. So that was
good.
Yeah, I was just breathing, I was meditating, I was taking it in, so I was like, that's it. Yeah. Okay, well, let's start with a drink.
All right, we're doing a drink called the Blushing Lady. And the Blushing Lady, I'm actually doing a bit of a twist on it because with vodka, you can get so many different flavored vodkas. So you can kind of take these drinks and you can kind of play with them a little bit. So we made one with a vanilla vodka. We made another one with a raspberry vodka. And then now we're actually going to make one with just regular vodka.
All right.
So we start with our shaker. Again, Fifth and Vermouth. Thank you so much. Favorite stuff. And we're going to fill it with ice. There we go. And we're going to fill it with ice. Oh, sorry, recipe.
Oh. So see, it starts and just goes down the hill.
Exactly. Just keep going down and down and down.
Yeah. Okay, so we're adding vodka to ice.
Yeah, vodka. And then we're going to do our 1 ounce of grapefruit juice.
Okay, we know how much Robin likes grapefruit juice.
I know.
Pomegranate liqueur. Okay.
Yeah, pomegranate liqueur. So it's only 3 ingredients on this one. It's not too much. So this is why it's going to be interesting to see it with all the different kind of vodkas that we tried.
Okay.
I was going to bring the cotton candy vodka, but I was like, oh, that might be weird.
Okay.
Cotton candy vodka?
Yeah. Okay, so you're rimming the glass with the lemon here.
Yep.
And then you're going to put it into sugar to make a sugar rim for it. So Anna's just doing the sugar rim on the glass. Oh, I should shake.
Yeah, shake it. There you go. See how that beautiful looks? That is putting in the glass. We're going to put like a little cute lemon here. Keep the glass over because it's too heavy. Okay. Yeah.
Anna has a method to her madness.
Yes. I got a system.
All right.
Yeah.
Now, we did bring dried lemons. If you don't want to use a fresh lemon to garnish the glass, you can use dried lemons as well. So that was just kind of giving you some other options. Another thought, too, is you can always use a flower if you have edible flowers in your garden.
Yeah, it would be interesting to see. Sometimes I find when the taste and the garnish works together, that's like a perfection, right?
Yeah.
So
which one is that?
So this one is a raspberry, I think you said.
Yeah,
the first one is
raspberry. That's vanilla. And this is regular.
Okay, well, cheers.
Cheers.
A very muddy puddle, but let's try it.
Thoughts? You don't like it?
No.
Let me try yours. That pomegranate liqueur is very strong.
It is very strong.
Oh my god, it's even stronger.
I think I like my vanilla better. Yeah. So we are drinking. So the good part of rimming the sugar, you can see where the other person licked.
It's strong. It's smoky. Like the flavor is like it's smoky because of this pomegranate. Yeah.
I think I like vanilla the best.
Interesting. See, I like the regular vodka the best.
Yeah. It is a cleaner. I'm gonna see if I can just like squeeze a little bit more lemon in it, and I'm gonna start drinking from the other side.
We will make a drinker out of her yet.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's okay. just let her.
All right.
Okay. Well, I think we have a mixed feelings on this one, I would say, because we're not super excited.
No.
I don't know if I love it. It's not bad. It's definitely not as bad as some of the drinks we've had.
I don't feel any grapefruit juice and any pomegranate. It's just strong and smoky taste for me.
Yeah.
I think lemon made it worse. Like, kind of regretting not putting lemon in. Do you want to add some juice into your drink?
No, she said she doesn't like
No.
grapefruit. So I will say this. Okay, so for anyone who follows me on Instagram, Facebook, or TikTok, you'll know that I was recently down in New York for a girls' trip with my daughter, and I actually came across a super cool store that I'm going to do some research and see if we have the same kind of products here. And what it is it's a spirit store, but everything it sells is non-alcoholic spirits. So the entire place brewed like gin, vodka, beer, everything, but with no alcohol in it. And I was like, that's actually kind of cool because if you want to have a rum and coke, which I love the taste of rum and coke.
I saw it on Instagram. I had ads. Obviously, my Instagram thinks I drink too much, so I have ads for non-alcoholic.
No, they didn't have testers.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, for me, I like the taste of rum and coke, but I don't always.
Yeah. I know there is a movement. It's quite developed in US. I know there's somebody was trying to start it in Calgary. I don't know if it started and closed or still open. But like even the bars specialize in making cocktails without alcohol, but so if you want to go out and feel like you are participating in drinking, they specialize in not just a mocktail, but actually taking to the next level.
Well, and
there is non-alcoholic. There's non-alcoholic wines, right?
Yeah.
Like there is non-alcoholic beers. So why not to have the rest of the stuff, right?
Yeah, it was a really cool
Interesting.
store. So I am going to look it up and see if we can find more because there are times where, I feel like you said, having a cocktail, but I don't want the alcohol.
Right.
So, yeah, it was pretty cool.
I would be interesting to have gin flavor without alcohol. That would be actually kind of cool because obviously non-alcoholic wine, I find they make them super sweet, usually a super sour for the not legal term for the sour wine. Or I cannot drink beer even if it's not alcoholic because of hops and stuff like that. So it would be interesting to have cool options. But what is the topic today? We are talking about moving up, right? We're talking about buying a bigger home, dream home, graduating basically from starter home and just moving up.
Absolutely.
To the next level.
Now, I'm going to tell a story. So my story is this, is that my husband, sometimes people don't realize, but as markets increase in value, your gap between your current home to your next dream home is going to get wider and wider and wider and wider. So sometimes when people are like, oh, I'll wait, it might be not a bad idea to do it now before you see that massive increase in the market because that is going to make that next dream home that much further away. So the story is that my husband and I owned a house in Mount Pleasant. We sold it in 2001 for $160,000. And I said it to my husband that we had to buy and sell then because I knew the markets were going to increase and we wouldn't be able to afford our move up home. So we bought a house in Hidden Valley for $210,000. So we sold for $160,000 in Mount Pleasant and bought in Hidden Valley in 2001 for $210,000. Now in 2006, when the markets went crazy, that same house in Mount Pleasant went up for sale at $320,000. And my husband says we should have stayed and bought now. And I said, had we stayed and bought now, we would be buying the exact same house in Hidden Valley that we live in currently for $500,000. So because we did it earlier, we only had a $50,000 move-up gap. But had we waited only 5 years, we would have had a $180,000 move-up gap. So sometimes now is the right time to move up to that house, especially when you're on inflating markets like we are right now.
I personally always say, so I'm one of the worst people who buy and sell, I'm not talking about houses, I'm usually clothes, it's oh, I bought tons of stuff on sale, it was great, right? And I was like, oh, I'm just waiting for payday, or I just spend my money on the windows, oh, you know what, next time. So, and then of course, when I do have cash to go and do shopping spree, there's no sales at all. So I always buy full price. So my thing is, and when you wait for that sale, for the price is right, so to speak, it's always around time because you don't have the money. I was you have to have the money. You have the money, go buy stuff. That's kind of what it is because it's really hard to get lined up when you have the cash. You have to be financially stable to have the money to move up.
And right now I have a lot of buyers who wanted to buy, but they keep saying oh, maybe we need to wait for the fall and is the market gonna cool down a bit. And the thing is, it won't cool down because we have such a huge pool of waiting buyers and it looks like it's still growing and growing and growing. Like compare half a year ago and now, not getting better. The competing offers, like, it's just growing.
If it goes down even in price, then we still have no inventory.
No inventory. Yeah.
Well, and
Yeah.
the likelihood, if you look at all the factors, there's no factor that's showing that it's going to cool down. You think raising of interest rates is going to cool it down? It's not. It's just going to keep continuing to make it more expensive. The fact that we have stuck so many people in our rental market and they have nowhere to go and we have no rentals means that they're going to keep putting upwards pressure on rental prices. And as long as they continue to put upward pressure on rental prices, it's going to keep driving the prices of homes up. I'll be honest, there is a ton of renters that I have convinced to buy the houses that they're currently living in because owning it is cheaper than renting it right now.
Yeah.
So, but moving up too is you got to look at the reasons why you're moving up. What are you really looking for when you're looking at moving up in your home? Do you need bigger space? Do you need a different location? Sometimes even, are you really look at the house that you're in and decide, are you utilizing the space in your house? I'll be honest, we bought a house that was 2,000 square feet, 2,100 square feet. We finished the basement, and then right now I can tell you is that there's probably at least 2 full rooms in our house that to this day we still don't use. So are you really utilizing the space in your house the way you could? Could you maybe change the purpose of your rooms? Just because it's called a bedroom doesn't mean you have to use it as a bedroom.
Like how many times we've heard when we're preparing a house for sale, like you declutter, you clean it up, you stage, and people are like, whoa, like why don't we live like this? Like, like that transforms the house. And sometimes, hiring maybe a professional or a designer can eliminate that idea that I need a bigger house just because you're not maybe using it right. But if, for example, you have growing family, you're not running out of bedrooms, maybe the kids are growing up and they don't want to share the bedroom, or you have an older kid who wants a basement and you don't have one, let's say you're in a townhome or something like that. You're working from home still, and there's a lot of people who, even company like adjusting after COVID, they still at part-time work from home, come into the office, whatever you need to, right? Like we shifted, like our lifestyle shifted post-COVID, and a lot of people still like love their home gyms now, like they love having everything at home at their convenience, so they don't need to go out to work out, to work. Like dance studios, like some of the families who have children in competitive sports created like greens in their backyard for golfing, right? Like, tennis, basketball courts. We're talking about dance studios in the basements. Like, we've seen that shift. So if your kids are still, you want to keep them 24/7 busy in the home without going out because you work from home, you can look after them. That's like one of the things, conveniences, right, for more space.
And talking about the actual, like if you already made this decision to move up, you need to consider, it's not just excitement process, you need to consider numbers, because when you move in a bigger house, your property tax is going to go up. Like
Most likely, yes.
Most likely. For example, if you're moving to another area where is home association fee could be, like, for example, area with a lake, you need to pay like 500 more yearly. So you need to count those numbers to see if you can afford not just bigger mortgage, but bigger like extra payments.
And utilities especially in the winter here in Calgary, that cold snap comes around and I double in my gas spending. And of course in the reverse in the summer when we all waiting for that hot weather and then we hit with a +30 for like a week and your grass is dry, so you start watering more.
And the insurance can be more pricey.
Yes.
Like, for example, if you're buying bigger space but a bit like older, like they're counting like the roof, hot water tank. So your insurance payments can increase too.
Yeah,
but you guys can also ask for the utility bills from the seller of the property, so you can actually get a very realistic budgeting standpoint. So don't think that you can ask for those. If you're looking at a house and you like it and you're not in a rushed position, because sometimes we are nowadays, you can actually ask for their utility bills for the last 12 months, and that will give you a very general sense as to what exactly you would pay to keep that house every month. The other thing too is know that when you're moving from one house to the next, There is something in the mortgage market called an extend and blend. You can port your mortgage from the one house that you're living in, and you can move it to the next house. Now, this avoids any payout penalties that you may have to pay the bank, and it allows you to keep the lower rate if you're one of those lucky people who got that 2% mortgage. You can keep that lower rate on one section of the money, and they get a higher rate on the other section, and they'll actually blend the two rates together. So if the current 5-year rate is looking at, I don't know, let's say 5%, then your lower rate may be able to bring that down to more like a 3% rate instead of that 5% rate on the total amount, because they take the money, they blend it together, and they kind of blend the interest rate based on how much money is old money and how much money is new money. But it's important to know this, because a lot of times mortgage brokers, and don't get me wrong, I love mortgage brokers, I love bank people, all that kind of stuff, but they earn their commissions and they earn their bonuses based on only new money. They do not earn money on old money. So when they port your mortgage or you port a mortgage, unless you're dealing with, like, we have a lot of great referral sources, and I know that there's lots of great people out there, but there are some that maybe aren't so great, and they'll just try and convince you to pay your payout penalty and get new money so that they get a bigger commission or a bigger bonus at the end of the year. So keep that in mind.
And
There
this
is the extend and blend.
And it's always good idea to have a second opinion if you're
Yeah.
doubting.
Absolutely. So know that there's an extend and blend out there. Know that you can port your mortgage. Know that you have those options, and there is a way to save money and a way to kind of long-term save money if you're being able to get that lower interest rate than today's interest rate on all your money, because you started with the lower rate to start.
And a hidden cost. Nobody ever thinks bigger spaces needs bigger furniture or more furniture, which you may not have. And I had this many times. People are like, well, when we moved in, our couch doesn't fit because it's too small. It disappears in the room, or configuration of your home is different. Just like a bigger spaces sometimes takes bigger tables, and yeah, especially if you want to like into design and you want to make it look good, sometimes you need to spend extra money on actual just design things like art and lamps and little tables and things like and window coverings sometimes too. Like, so when you moving into a bigger home, out of especially like very tiny ones, like bedrooms usually is easier to fill, but those living spaces, that's what I find people struggle with, dining tables and living spaces, because of you need different couch, sometimes different sectional, different configuration of sectionals too. So remember that that's an extra expense that a lot of people don't think how fast that's gonna come, because like, oh, it's okay, we can live with the furniture that we have now, and then they move in, they're like, yeah, it doesn't work. So
it's more cleaning, actually. More space, more cleaning.
Yeah. And Erin Curry, by the way, says hi. So hi, Erin.
Hi, Erin. Thanks for watching.
Another great thing to think about as well is that a lot of times people, when they have that house that they currently own and they want to move up to the next house, and say, well, my entire down payment is inside the equity of my current home. That's okay. Right now, all you need is your deposit. And deposits, depending on the price range, can be anywhere from $10,000 to $25,000. So you just have to have that as liquid cash immediately. And then once you move up into your new home, once you sell that current home or whatever, they're just going to automatically transfer that down payment out of your current home equity into the next home. So don't think that you physically have to have the money in the bank. You just have to prove that you have the equity somewhere and how you're going to get it out. The money you're going to need up front is $10,000 to $25,000 liquid cash, depending on what the deposit required for the house is.
Yeah, so if you guys thinking of upsizing, so to speak, or buying that your dream home, but you have current real estate, market is hot, real estate, interest rates kind of high, but you want a plan. You want to see what is a realistic thing for you to do. Give us a call. We can sit down. We can go through. We can ask you all the right questions to plan, to create that plan for you. And sometimes you think it's easier than you think.
Exactly. And like I always say, the only surprises I like are diamonds. And I am willing to take diamonds from anybody. Anyone can send me diamonds. I'm always surprised.
Wow. Well, so you guys know how to please Robin now.
What we're gonna talk next time?
Next time,
Yeah.
we are actually talking about the Belmont Jewel. We're teaching them how to make that. And we're talking about actually purchasing a home for your children. So this is co-signing, helping, all the different ways you can help your children buy homes. And this is actually a pretty big topic nowadays because a lot of people are concerned that their kids aren't going to be able to afford homes. And even like Ian said, it's not uncommon nowadays that parents are helping their children up until their 40s to help buy houses either through co-signing or helping with a down payment. So we're going to explore all of that next week.
Yeah, like awesome topic, and I think, well, I mean, I have clients who help.
Up into their 40s,
You're a different generation, honey. It's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. I wish I had some of the parents that I work with who helped all their children to have their own first real estate.
Well,
That's amazing.
I think it's such a great gift too, right? Like I know as a parent, I'm already setting my kids up to buy their next house or their first house and stuff like that. My son turns 18 tomorrow.
Oh, wow. Well, happy early birthday.
Yeah, so,
Yes.
but it is. It's a great gift. And
Are you going to make him a drink?
I don't think he'll drink it. I'm going to be honest with you. I've been like trying to get him like, do you want to go do something? He's like, no.
Oh.
He actually said this to me last night. So I was like, well, is there anything you want for your birthday? And he says, Mom, I think I'm at the age where I just don't know what I want anymore.
Wow.
Like,
Yeah.
And he's 18.
So
It's going to be a hard
conscious.
pleaser.
so, but yeah, so it's a nice gift to be able to do. Not all parents can do it, but those who can, it's such a nice gift to be able to do for your kids, to help out your kids, to get them into that house so they don't have to rent.
And talking about gifts.
Yes. That's...
Oh, wrong one.
So I actually calculated from today, we have exactly 1 month of shows. So we have 4 more, well, including this one. So it's 4 shows with
Okay.
this one. So 3 more shows until we take a summer break. And until somebody can win our last prize of the season 3,
So,
which is a 2 margarita freeze cooling cups.
this one is with a gel inside. You're gonna put it in the freezer, and it's gonna freeze and keep your drinks really cold.
Which is great, because
Yeah.
when it's not raining, it's patio season.
That's right. Yeah, and put it in you, like take it camping, put it in your Yeti cooler. That thing like freezes everything for like days, and then you can have a fancy cocktail while you're camping.
Nice.
And they're plastic, so they don't break, and it's super easy to take to the dock, to the pool, maybe not public pool. That was, people frown upon that, but camping, it just keeps it nice and safe.
Wonderful. Now, of course, if you have any real estate questions, please feel free to give us a call at the number on your screen. Myself, Robin, Victoria, I am Robin, myself, Anna, Victoria.
Robin and myself.
Robin,
And,
myself.
and herself.
Victoria,
Yeah,
myself.
herself too.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's obviously
All
been a
6
rough
of us
day.
are available. How much of that drink did you have?
It's a rough day today. I'm all off.
Yeah.
Anyways, please feel free to give us a call and like and share us on any and all of the social medias to enter to win that prize. Because, of course, we are on Instagram, we are on Facebook,
LinkedIn,
we are
TikTok,
on
YouTube.
LinkedIn and Twitter and all that kind of stuff. So, we are your realtors. Thank you so much. Hope you have a great day, and we will see you next week to talk about how to help your children buy a house.
All right.
Thanks, guys.
Bye.
Bye.